We'll do a new series talking about mud flood, or Tartarian as we call it. I've never read that before. But this is the idea, yeah? Now imagine, see these look like post-war buildings, don't they, on the right? These flats, they're built after the war. That one there on the left, we would call that Victorian sort of building, wouldn't we, yeah? But there's a subtle difference between that building and that building, yeah? Now imagine you're building a building, yeah? What would you do? Would you build, you'd build the foundations underground there, and you'd put the front door on ground level, wouldn't you? Yeah? Like there, so you could walk straight in from the road. Yeah, that's how most buildings are built today, isn't it? So would there be any reason to build the first floor underground, or a level below that, and then build some steps up to the front door here? Would there be any reason to do that? Now let's have a look. Let's go across here a bit. Have a look at this house, and something a bit suspicious there, isn't it? Look. Now look at that. See that house there? The first floor has been built below ground, yeah, and they've dug down to utilise the ground level, and they built some steps up to the front door, ground level. Let's have a look at this building here. This is one of the best buildings I can see. What we call the mud flood, yeah, this area. So the idea is, this is pre-Victorian, yeah. So it was built a long time before that. So it's older than they say, yeah. And the idea is that level there, where that guy's cleaning that window, that was the original level when this building was built, yeah. And what's happened is there's been a mud flood, yeah, that's put the level of the ground up by about 4 or 5 feet, 6 feet, something like that. That what they're going to see on the camera there, that's about probably 4 or 5 feet below. So what's happened there is they've come along, found this mud building covered in mud up to the first floor, and they've dug down and reclaimed the ground floor to utilise the whole building. You know, so you see the difference? The building over there, you walk straight in from ground level, straight to the front door. This one here, you have to go and come down 4 feet. 3, 4 feet. See what I'm saying? That's the idea. And you see a lot of these buildings around, all over the country. I'll quite get the idea from that, but we'll see in a minute. But they've see the side here. It's been built back up again there, look. There we go. Same again now, see? There, with the original of the building. Yeah, anybody who's going to build a building, they're not going to build it on the ground, are they? Yeah, anyway. So the idea is that this is what you call a reclaimed building, yeah? All these buildings here, those ones there, they've all been built early 1900s or after the war. So that there would be the original level of the ground, yeah? So what's that? 2, 5, 6, 7 feet, yeah? So I've come along, found this building covered in mud up to this level, to utilise the building again. They dug down, yeah, found doors down below, and then built some steps down. Okay? Steps down to utilise the original doors. I can't think of any possible reason why you'd build a building into the ground like that and do it this method, unless of course you found the building in this state, it was covered in mud up to this level, up to this level. This is the ground level here. And then, in order to be able to utilise the ground floor building or the basement, yeah, you dig down again, dig it all out, yeah. So you can use doors there, and build some stuff there. Now, there's an example there. Look, these look wooden houses. These are less than 30 years old, aren't they? 30, 40 years, less than that. 80s, 90s, maybe 80s. Look, just build a house, build foundations, build the front door on the ground level, just walk straight in. Is there any possible reason to dig down 6 foot and build a door into the ground? There isn't, is there? And that's basically it. I use this building here as a perfect example because it's surrounded not by normal buildings built recently. We just walk straight from the road into the front door. Nice to see the difference in style. Now this supposedly, I would say this is Victorian, but it possibly be maybe 300 years old, 200 years old, this building, or more. Now the thing is, about it is, if that's true, if this is what they call a reclaimed building, where the ground levels come up to here, they come across here, found this building, up to this, yeah, and they've redone this, it would be called, what would be called a mud flood, yeah, we call it the mud flood, yeah. The thing about it, a mud flood, there's no record in history of any historical records of any mud flood in any historical books. But this kind of building is all over the world. I'll show you some more in a minute. We're down the seafront and seaside towns in Britain, all on internal buildings. Just the odd building every day there. There's now got the seafront buildings. There's hundreds of them all the way across the south coast, all the way across Europe. I'll show you some more in a minute, yeah? So it's not just an anomaly, yeah? But you see how, instead of just building steps down here, up to this point here, what they've done, they've built a ramp, yeah? This is the ground level, yeah? That door is only sort of half of it is above ground, isn't it, yeah? So what we've done here is, instead of building some steps down, the angled it, built a ramp down it, look. Turn it into a usable building. This is what we call the mud flood. I'll show you some more examples in it. But the upshot is, if there's no record of any historical flood in any country that's buried buildings, yeah, and then they've had to dig the buildings out to reclaim them, then that means that all history is fake. Imagine that, every single thing you've ever learned in a history book at school is completely fake. Yeah? And there's the evidence. This is a perfect example, the best one in this area of a mud flood building, yeah? Got every aspect of it, yeah? You got it built up again where they built, if the mud flood was up to this height and they used the building, they'd have to build extra doors into this building, wouldn't they? You'd have to build it, before you dug all the mud out, you'd have to use a window as a door, so change windows into doors, yeah? And then we've eventually dug the buildings out, dug the ground level out, reclaimed it, put windows in, utilised it again. And that is the mud flood in a nutshell. I'll show you some more examples here. It's a bit to take in, isn't it? Every single thing you've ever learned at school in history lessons is complete and utter fake. And this is taking only an example. It's all across Europe, all across America, everywhere, and all the seaside towns in Great Britain. I've gone on Google Maps, I've gone all the way across the south, every single town, Brighton, Lewis, Bognor, Eastbourne, Brighton, Bexhill, Hastings, and then carry on towards Hyde, Kent, all across Kent, every single town. There's examples of it everywhere. Yeah. There's another example just here. I just pressed it down. Now you can explain, you see. The mud rose to this level. It buried the houses, buried the ground level of this house. This is an old house here. So what they've done to utilise it again, they've dug it out and they've built some steps up to the door they used before it was flooded. There's the contrast between a mud flood building and a normal building, yeah? It's flacker.